Carl, do you feel finals are starting early because of the importance of this game Friday night?
Yeah, certainly. We've spoken about that straight after the game. Really, they're a quality outfit, and they've probably been the number one contender for most of the year. And obviously, it's going to be another big game on Friday night. And as you said, it's sort of a finals pre-final.
You haven't beaten the top four side, and everyone reminds you of it. Do you need it before you start finals, or is it going to carry all the way through to September on your backs?
Yeah, certainly. I think we've sort of been building the last month, and to knock someone off, of that calibre on Friday night would be massive for us, and just to build that momentum going into finals would be huge. So as I said before, it's going to be a massive game, and if we can get the win, it's going to go a long way.
Do you need it for confidence as well?
Oh, not necessarily. I think, as I said, we've been building, and we've been getting certain plays back who complement our game, and we've had that confidence internally that we're playing some good footy, and there's still room to improve, but we've been building over the past 3 weeks.
I'm sure that you sort of just said it there, but from a belief perspective, like knocking off the top 14, everyone's saying that you can't do it. You guys, I know, think you can do it, but to actually do it, do you need that as a group?
Oh, I think it would certainly help. If you come into finals knocking off Bulldogs, who have been at the top two for most of the year, it's certainly going to build your confidence. And as I said, we've been building and growing over the last month, but to get that scale would be certainly helping.
Milestone mean much to you, Carl?
Yeah, I think certainly this week I've reflected a little bit, and it means a little bit. But I think looking back post career, and you look at your locker, and there's only David Roden, who's the other 100-game player in 15. So I think certainly post my career it'll be something I'm really proud of, and no doubt I am this week. I'm certainly proud of reaching 100 games, and hopefully there's many more to come.
Were there many points during your Port Adelaide career where you didn't think you were going to get 100 games for this club?
Yeah, there was certainly one year I didn't think I would, but I think that's been spoken about enough now, and I've really loved especially the last 3 years that I've had here, and I haven't missed too many games from there, and just building my game around the guys that we've got here, and we've got a really strong group. It's been good.
Did you know that you always had this run of form in you, or you even sort of a little bit pleasantly surprised yourself at the player that you've turned out to be this year?
I think a bit of both. I certainly think in myself that I had it in me, but certainly the last 3 years to gradually build my form, and obviously the year that I've had this year, it's quite pleasing and self-satisfaction, I guess. But for me as a person and as an individual, I'm not happy where I am. I continually want to grow my game and be the better footballer that I can be.
Do you think you're going to get all Australian against China this year? You think that's on its way?
I don't think that's something that I'm looking at. Myself, I think as a group, we're looking for that team success, and that's why you play football. That's what we're building to, and we're 6 points off a grand final last year, and if we can go further this year, it'll be amazing.
Do you also reflect on, I guess, how far you come from, the health issues you had as a child as well, to actually, play AFL and then play 100 games? Yeah,
I think so, and I think that's sort of something that I've tried to, build through my career and be an inspiration for young kids who had Perthes, and, if I can reach out to anyone who suffered Perthes or families, because it's obviously something that's pretty rare and something that not many families go through. And I think once I got drafted onto an AFL list, I felt that I've achieved a goal, and to reach 100 games, it's amazing.
They don't pick true wingmen in the All-Australian team normally, do they? Carl, do you feel that's a position that's maybe underrated externally?
I think it's a position that does go under the radar a little bit, but in terms of the other conversation, that's sort of something that is completely out of my control, and that's something that I'm not worried on. And as I said, we're focused on team success, and we're coming into the good part of the year where you want to be playing good footy, and that's finals footy. So as I said, we're looking forward to this week, which is sort of a mini final for us, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Is it flattering though to be in that conversation?
Oh, it certainly is. I think, if your form's recognised, that's something that you can look back on and be proud of. But, for me, as I said before, I'm still building and still want to build my game, and want to improve where I can.
Where does that come from, Carl? You've been, like Josh said, as damaging a wingman that exists this year. Where does your improvement come from, do you think?
I think, just being consistent. I've had a few games where, I haven't really played as well as I'd like, but continue building on my inside game. That's sort of something that has helped me a lot this year, and just keep improving that.
Joe Schofield said you guys a better place now than you were this time last year heading into the finals. Why do you think as a playing group you're better on to deal with what's ahead in the next 3 weeks than you were last year?
Yeah, I think it's just building that connection within the playing group, but not only the playing group, the coaching group as well. I think we're a pretty young team, and I guess the experience that we had last year of playing finals is really going to help us, and we can reflect on what happened last year and hopefully grow on that going into this final series.
Do you buy into the theory that a team needs to have some finals heartbreak to then have final success?
I guess not necessarily. I think you can go either way, really. As I said, we can certainly learn from last year and grow from that. And it's good that we all had a taste of what finals footy is last year. And I can tell you, every one of those boys in the locker room are really hungry for this. About what's going to come. So, yeah.
How's Scott Lycett today?
Good. Yeah, I moved around on the track pretty freely, so yeah, I'd expect him to play.
Trent McKenzie look good?
Yeah, obviously had a little hiccup in training last week, but he was moving around today, and the same with Scott. I'd expect him to play.
How's the pre-finals bye? What's the players' perspective on that being scrapped?
Again, it's something that's not in our control, but for us, as I said earlier, we've been building for quite a few weeks. So if we can keep building our form and our game, it's not going to affect us a little bit.
You're a member of the AFLPA's Indigenous Advisory Committee. How's the last couple of weeks been for you?
It's been pretty challenging, to be honest. And I think Eddie Betts, he's been running that mostly, and he's a large voice for the Indigenous players across the competition. And if you would have seen his interview on 360, and it touches the heart a little bit. It's been pretty tough.
What can we do? What needs to be done in the industry?
I think just education is the main thing, and I think the competition lately has been really good at calling stuff out. I guess as a playing group, we're sick of it.
What was particularly tough about watching Eddie and what he said and what he was saying?
I think just the amount of times that he's got to front the media. We're in 2021, and it's still happening today. So he's sick of it. The sooner that we can sort of put an end to this, the better.
Is that the sentiment of Indigenous players across the league when he talks about the physical and the mental toll and the exhaustion that comes with it? Is that sort of how you feel as well?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the more it happens, the more it builds up inside of yourself. And I guess as an Indigenous group of players, we're sick of it. And as I said, we don't want to see Eddie fronting the media, just saying all these and putting all these shots out there because we're sick of it.
What about it affects you as well, Karl? Is it something that you've experienced a lot in your playing career?
Not necessarily myself, but as I said, you see other players who cop it constantly, and I think, I'm not sure whether it was last weekend or the weekend before, but we had 3 incidents in the same weekend. You got a friendship with these players, and to see them go through that, it's pretty tough to see.
You guys, all of the Indigenous community in the AFL, you all sort of wear it together, even though Eddie is, as you say, the man that's fronting it. When you see that, what does that do for you, even though it's not directed at you as a person? Yeah,
I think that's what I just touched on, what you said. I think we cop it together, and unfortunately for Eddie, he's the sort of face of the response. As I said, the sooner we can sort of educate people and move on from this, and really call out what happens, the better. The AFL and future Indigenous boys will feel more comfortable coming into the system.
He said yesterday that he doesn't believe it's yet a safe environment for Indigenous players within the system. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, certainly. I think I just touched on it, that young kids coming through may not feel safe, and they may wonder, if this happens to me, how am I going to react and all that kind of stuff. So, I think for Eddie, what he touched on is spot on, and I guess as senior Indigenous players of the league, if we can change this around for young kids coming through and make them feel more comfortable, then that's going to be a step in the right direction.
What would you like to see
This last couple.
Indigenous players do? Carl, stand by your side. How can they help?
I think what we're doing, is good. We're calling everything out. But I guess the whole competition, what we saw against Saints and Geelong. We know the whole competition's behind us. It's not just the Indigenous players, so their support is tremendous in seeing change in what we have today.
Is it? Have you sorted out the travel for this weekend? Fly in, fly out, isn't it?
Yeah,
So when
I
you
think
flying out?
pretty sure it's flying Friday morning and fly out straight after.
So an early return, very late return.
I think it's a very late return. Yeah,
Grand final, Adelaide Oval.
be good to see, wouldn't it?
Do the players have any inclination that that's possible? Or does it sound like Perth's got it in the bag, do you think?
I think it's obviously between the two cities, but I guess as players we don't read into it that much. The whole year we just pretty much do as we're told, and we'll get the season underway. And whether that's in Perth or in Adelaide, we're happy to be there and we'll give it a good crack.